Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing messages from your shadow self. Now there's a little bit of a misconception about what a shadow is, and many people kind of think that this part of us we need to get rid of, when in fact the shadow, as the name suggests, it's actually the part of ourselves where we need to shed light on, understand, see, and integrate into our personalities. Because sometimes in our shadows, the best parts of us actually exist there. You can be perhaps bold when you're triggered. And so instead of letting that boldness come out when you're triggered, you need to heal it, integrate it so that you are consciously bold and use it whenever you need to. Or it could be that creative side of you that you're not letting out into the world and experiencing. And as well as we know, it could be that anger or shame or guilt that we're hiding that we need to heal and let out. So that was just a quick introduction about what our shadows are, how to heal it. And now today we're going to take a look at messages from our shadow selves. And to do that, we're going to be picking 3 cards together. Let's pick out our last card. I see this one popping out. Let's take it. So, for pile number 1, we have Sword. For pile number 2, we have the High Priest. And for pile number 3, we have Holy Water. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and that will probably be the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. It'll guide you to the right readings. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you've chosen the Sword. And straight away, what I can see from your shadow self, pile number 1, is a clear indication that you need to start speaking your truth. You might think that you're held off by emotions or empathy towards others. You're greatly in touch with your emotions. But at the same time, pile number 1, your shadow side is saying that you have so much to say. And just like the Sword, it has the ability to shift, cut through energy and shift energy. And it seems like you have so much to add, so much to say. You have a lot of wisdom to you. But sometimes you keep quiet and you don't say them out loud. And I see your shadow self inviting you to rise. You have the dragon here in your reading, pile number 1, and it really suggests that you're much stronger than you think you are, especially with the Sword here coming out. So now there is an invitation to invite that part of you, let it out. It was always there inside of you. You have the courage, but you just need to test the waters and see if it's true for yourself or not, pile number 1. And that is done by sometimes being a little bit bolder, a little bit courageous, and saying something here and there. You realize by time, pile number 1, that you're more than capable of expressing yourself, that you're heard, and that people will appreciate what you have to say greatly as long as you speak it with confidence, pile number 1. Your shadow self is not just encouraging you to start using that and start healing that part of you, but it's really saying there's so much more on the inside about you, so much boldness and courage on your inside, pile number 1, that you're not aware of because you haven't tapped into it, and you need to start exploring it. This is super interesting because usually with throat chakras, we talk about how to start developing it. It seems like you have it all on the inside. You're very wise, you're smart, You're very courageous on the inside, but you don't let it out. And I see that a lot of the times you're hindered by empathy. Sometimes you don't want to embarrass anyone. Sometimes you don't want to cut people off. Sometimes emotionally as well, you're afraid of being critiqued, criticized, cut off. This has to stop, pile number 3. You now need to, this is why there is an integration. You need to integrate this beautiful, empathetic, emotional side of you that gives you strength in other areas, and you need to integrate it with your boldness, your strength and courage, and together you'll be able to speak out into the world just more gracefully, maybe not in a cruel way. It doesn't have to be one or the other, that middle point where you still have empathy towards others, you still speak your heart out, but at the same time you do it with confidence. Pile number 1. Love this message for you, and it's time for you to rise and bring that out, that part of yourself. There's a strong invitation here for that. So what I'm going to do now is bring out your tarot cards, and I'm going to get more information about this message specifically, and also about other messages from your shadow self, pile number 1. So what does pile number 1's shadow self want to tell them, please? Okay, keep that to the side for now. And pile number 1, you have the 7 of Wands with stress. Interesting, right? You have the Moon with past lives. Interesting. So this right here, straight away telling me that this is an ancestral trauma that you are going to be ending in your lifetime. You're going to cure this, pile number 1. Perhaps some sort of ancestral karma, or a form of ancestral healing. And now it needs to come out of your shadow and heal it for everyone. Pile number 1. You have, of course, the Thunderbolt with the Tower card here. See, a lot of stress here that affects you physically all over. Pile number 1. You have the Star with Hope here with silence. And you have integration. Isn't this magical? So you have integration here with the Temperance card. Can we fit any more cards? No, I think we should stop here, and if we feel like we want to draw more, we will. So pile number 1, what I see for you here straight away, when we're talking about the Moon or your ancestral trauma here, that you will be the one to heal in this lifetime, pile number 1, we see it in conjunction to the Star. And it's really funny because the Star is not just about hopes and dreams, it's actually also about healing traumas. I mean, magical. So what I see here for you, pile number 1, is that the way your shadow self, your messages from your shadow self, in order to be able to bring this out, your biggest drawback here is stress and anxiety, being triggered. I mean, gosh, the spiritual world is so magical. So when you get triggered, you fall off track, pile number 1. And so the advice here is for you to cancel off these triggers. Now, I know you're probably saying, oh, really? Easier said than done. I promise you, I'm not just giving you any gimmicky advice here. I'm telling you what I've personally read from a book that I will never stop recommending, because it saved so many people's lives. It's unbelievable. It's revolutionary in my point of view. It's a book by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I always leave it down in the description box. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know I exist. I'm recommending this from my heart. And Dr. Caroline Leaf is a neuroscientist who's been studying triggers and mental illnesses for 20 years with other neuroscientists in her lab. And to cut a story short, whether you read this book or not, a summary here is that she talks about you being the one fully capable of letting that stress go. And it's really as simple as, try it out. It's as simple as rewiring the way your brain has been habitually thinking. And that's by reversing your triggers. Whenever you feel like you got triggered, pile number one, you got caught off guard, you feel scared, you feel worried, all you really need to do is to acknowledge this trigger and say, no, thank you very much. I'm not taking triggers. Thank you very much. Whenever you get triggered, calmly realize it and push it away and go back to your neutral state, pile number one. I've heard another advice from a neuroscientist. In order to get into this mind frame and be able to go back into your logical side of your brain so that you can push your emotions out, is by counting in reversal from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It instantly lets you think with your logical brain. It disconnects you for a few seconds from your emotions, and from there you start pushing away your triggers. You say, no, I don't take triggers. You're fully capable of doing that. Just push it away, regain your balance, and summon up your courage and say what you want. And another thing that I see here for this integration to happen, pile number one, two things actually that I see for your integration to happen here, is to accept losses, pile number one. Accept it. It happens to everyone. When you feel like someone might win this silly discussion or win over by saying something silly, it's okay. Accept losses until you learn how to make it better for yourself. Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll get feedback. Take it back home, think about it, see what you can do the next time, and then go back and summon up your courage and try again. My advice to you, especially with these two cards showing up here, is to not practice in a very toxic environment to start with, pile number one. Try your best to start practicing in a normal environment, not around the same people who are maybe jealous of you or who are toxic towards each other. The best playground for you at the moment is a easy, calm society, so that you can start opening up with a little bit of safety. Start expressing yourself so that you build that self-confidence, you create that inner peace, and you change the habits. And from there, you'll become stronger. You'll be able to face the darker side of people in general, because you will have built grit. You will have built new habits, new neurological pathways that will help you face whatever you thought in the past was impossible to face. And the reason is because by then you would have built self-confidence. You're not easily triggered. You saw yourself not easily triggered, and that heals that sort of trauma from all your ancestral lines, including yours, pile number one, and you finally integrate these two together. Your integration is really interesting, pile number one, because from the very beginning I saw that bold side of you and that beautiful emotional side of you. You're a wonderful person, pile number one. And so you can see this deck depicting a swan and an eagle, where you'll integrate these two integral parts about you: your beautiful empathetic side, loving side, as well as your strong side. You're not going to recreate it. It's already inside of you. Come on, you have the dragon and the eagle. How else can your shadow side depict you, how strong you are on the inside, pile number one? So you really have, with the diamond here, all that it takes. You're a person just like the diamond. It's created by a lot of pressure. So with all the experiences and the triggers you've been through, perhaps they've created unhealthy neurological pathways, yes, but you've gained a lot of insight on what people are all about. You've gained a lot of insight on what people can do and to what extent. You've gained so much knowledge and wisdom about the world around you that will prove to help shift you. And when you summon up your courage, you'll have these understandings in your pocket of what people can do, and it will make you wiser and smarter, even smarter about how you can respond back. Pile number 1. So I see you in this lifetime healing this throat chakra part of you, clearing it out. In fact, I do see her holding this integration right at her throat chakra. And I see the moon and the sun integrating as well, your feminine side along with your masculine side. You can almost see them like earrings in this deck, pile number 1. And you also have the Ouroboros here. And what I see here is with the earrings, you were someone who was always a good listener. Lovely thing. Not everyone has that skill, because with good listening, you learn so much from the people around you. You're able to analyze people better. You're able to make up your mind wisely about so many things. So never lose that. But then there's the integration of throat chakra. There has to be a ping pong game here where you listen to others very well, and then you pong back by saying your opinion and letting them know your wisdom as well. Pile number 1. And with that understanding, you will have integrated that very important side of you that is going to heal in this lifetime. And may I repeat something I see very strongly here that you need to know. It's not encouragement from me, it's the honest truth. And I'm an honest tarot reader. I like to say the truth. Pile number 1, you have that courage inside of you. It's not something that you're going to create. You just need to have that courage to bring it out. You know how when you write about to swim and you tap your toes into the water to see the temperature and you go, oh, cold. I don't think I can do that. But then you summon up your courage and you go like, well, I'm not going to look at this beautiful sea or swimming pool all day. I want to swim. I want to be free. So you just push yourself out there, jump into the pool, and you go you get that instant hit. You shiver a little bit, and then you go like, that wasn't so bad. Why did I wait hours to enjoy my swimming session? I've wasted so much time in my day not enjoying the water. And that's exactly what's going to be happening to you in this lifetime, where because of past triggers, because of past inactions, you've built a very wrong idea about yourself. And now that you will take yourself out, speak out, and most importantly, accept when losses happen instead of letting it hinder you altogether, learn from them, and go back and play the game. Go back and play the game. It didn't work this time. Push the trigger out, push the sadness out, and say, calmly but nicely, I'm going back into the game again. And this way, pile number 1, you will have cured your triggers in this lifetime. This is exactly what I see your shadow self wants to tell you. And all the best of luck in your healing journey. I know you're going to bring out that dragon in you, that wisdom that's waiting to come out for the world. So pile number 1, if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 2. So you've chosen the High Priest, and what a very interesting card to come out in your shadow reading, pile number 2, because the High Priest is the masculine aspect of adeptship, which is, someone being an expert in magical or occult practices, and it indicates someone who is versed in the ways of wisdom. So with the masculine aspect here, I see so many things, especially in general with the high priest or the high priestess, is someone who is in touch with wisdom, someone is in touch with their inner knowing. There is inner knowing wisdom that you have inherited from ancient civilizations, from your ancestors. You have very clearly a life mission here where you are going to be leading people into the light. Pile number 2. Isn't this really interesting? You have a strong message and you need to bring it into the light. It's in the shadow at the moment, and you need to come out and enlighten other people with your wisdom. Pile number 2. This is strongly what your shadow self is telling you. So with this card, I see here for you that there's a message of you needing to pick yourself up, stand true to your highest purple. Purple is the crown chakra. It's going along. Stand true to your highest purpose, then reach for the stars. Confident, pile 2, that you have a reason to be here and that everything is absolutely possible with you because you have that inner knowledge and wisdom to you. You will find yourself, pile number 2, most of the time having this inner knowing. You may hear a lot of speeches, you may hear a lot of people or experts say a lot of things, and it's like you kind of knew it already by common sense, or at least that's what you think. It's common sense. It's common sense to you, pile number 2. And with 5 here, there needs to be a change where you take that wise side of yourself. It seems like it greatly has to do with your life mission that you've been holding on and not leading people with it, pile number 2. Now, I don't know why you haven't let all this inner wisdom out into the world. Perhaps when we pick out your tarot cards, we'll be able to discern better why it's in the shadows, and maybe I can help you out with that. But I do see a high priest ready for flight, ready to illuminate the world with, or their community, with their wisdom and purity, with all this white and all this feathers, and with the high priest in specific. I really do see that you are someone who is honest, and that's why you are greatly in touch with your intuition and greatly in touch with your inner wisdom, because you never lie to yourself. You never twist facts to others or yourself. You never manipulate things to make them fit a picture that it doesn't want to fit, like a misused puzzle piece, trying to push it in just to make it fit. You never do that, pile number 2. And because of that innocence, or let's say honest wisdom to you, you were capable of discerning between the right and the wrong, and constantly being in touch with your inner wisdom, especially your ancient inner wisdom. And you're really ready now to bring that into the world. Because when you speak, pile number 2, people will have a lot of aha moments of going, oh, I never saw it this way before. It's so simple, yet complicated, yet deep in its advice. You understand. You know how Einstein used to say, if you understand it so well, you'll say it so simply. And that's what I see about you. It's like so much inner wisdom and inner understanding that you're able to put the pieces together and bring out something that absolutely not just makes sense, but changes things at an integral level for people. Pile number 2. So that needs to come out into the light very clearly. I see you becoming a very strong spiritual leader, or a very strong leader of some sort in any field, really. You have that inner wisdom. Pile number 2. All right, so let's see now with your tarot cards, what's up with that? Why isn't it not out into the light? And get more messages from your shadow self. Pile number 2. So let's ask with intention. What messages does pile number 2's shadow self want them to know? I also feel this one. And why is this life mission or higher purpose not into the light? Okay. Right, let's see pile number 2. So, you have, let's take out this noise first. Okay, so you have the Fool. You have, wow, talk about guidance. Talk about guiding people. With the Rooster here of being mentally super alert, being able to, with your inner knowing, guiding people. This is the Six of Swords. Ooh, you have the King of Pentacles with abundance here. Oh my God. You have the Ten of Swords with rebirth. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. Wow, you have the Magician here with existence. Again, talk about a debtship, right? Okay. Can we fit in one card here? Yes, we can. We just need to move these here a little bit. All right. Right, pile number 2, we have your last card here. Ooh, and that is the Knight of Swords with fighting, and talk about courage. Now I understand what's going on. So the issue here seems to be going first of all through some hardships that perhaps didn't allow you to take on that journey. But most importantly, the Knight of Swords talks about courage. You needing to summon up your courage and start that journey, as you can see clearly here with the King of Pentacles, that will prove to bring you a lot of abundance, pile number 2. So with the Magician here, the Magician usually has all the elements needed on the table to create their magic. It's all about as above, so below. And it looks like pile number 2. You've already went through a strong transformational phase in your life. You were perhaps very patiently waiting for that phase to end. There were times where you felt like the light wasn't going to come out, and that things weren't going to change. You heard of other people changing their lives and saying, hey, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It will change. It changed for me. But you questioned yourself, thinking, well, what if it doesn't change for me? I mean, for some people it didn't change, and you were doubting this phase of your life strongly. But you have been granted a new beginning from the universe, from your spirit guides. You have been granted that new beginning. It's either you're on the threshold getting into that, pile number 2, or you are about to heal and start this journey. Whatever it is, I really do see an invitation from your shadow self, pile number 2, to begin your life purpose. Because if you haven't had that start, then your cards are clearly saying that once you tap into your higher purpose and start walking that path, the sun will come out. Pile number 2, you will become greatly abundant, and you will really help bring other people out into the light. You have it in you. Do you see the amount of wands here? You have it in you. I mean, this is the Six of Swords. Why is this character holding a wand? You really do see that there is a prophecy here. There is a message. You hold a message. You have a higher purpose. And you need to tap into that to create your own abundance and help others get into get out of some shadow or some bottlenecks that they're in. But in order to get it to do all that, pile number 2, your greatest advice here is to um, be courageous in going forward towards whatever you want to do. You see a warrior here that is thinking, I'm going to fight my shadows. I'm not going to let them stop me anymore. I'm not going to let my fears stop me anymore. I'm not going to let past experiences stop me anymore. I will be the one picking myself up and going through it, because if I am holding a life mission, a higher purpose in my hand that is so ancient, if I'm someone with all this wisdom, then I have a reason to be here. It's not the end. So you see the Fool in this card, taking a leap of faith and holding a flower. And I see you really presenting this beautiful opportunity for yourself, pile number 2. And you will heal, you will further heal as you help guide others. Because during that time, as you're guiding others, you're tapping into your inner wisdom, pile number 2. And you will not believe it, with the Magician card, you will find yourself finding solutions for others, tapping into this wisdom because you're so in the flow. You have your heart out trying to help guide others, and because you're in that energetic flow and you really want to help them, you're downloading information. Remember when I messed up in the beginning, or twisted words? Instead of saying higher purpose, I said higher purple. You will be downloading information that will help others, but also you, pile number 1. So I see a new beginning happening out of the old by singing and speaking out words of wisdom to others. And the more you do that, the more you bring yourself into the light and others with you, pile number 2, which means here that you do not need to fully be in that perfect condition to help others. Why? Because in your case, pile number 2, you have that inner wisdom. You just need to fight through it. And it's not like, oh, I don't have it figured out, I don't know what to do. You have that inner wisdom. Perhaps your life circumstances at the moment is a little bit tough on you. You need to fix so many things. But if you have the Knight of Swords appearing in your reading, it shows that you fully have the courage and the power to go past it and put most of this effort into helping others and tapping into your higher purpose. You will find that it liberates you, it's healing you, it's giving you hope, it's making you confident about the abilities that you have. And most importantly, pile number 2, you will revive your world by watching yourself guide those that feel tired, that feel helpless. But the difference here between you and them is that you have that inner knowing. So it's really unfair to have that ancient inner knowing to you and keep it to yourself until you feel better about it and then bring it out. It's that there needs to be this connection. You know how when you plug something into the wall, that hair dryer alone is not going to work, and that wall that taps and connects into electricity, that taps into the grid, are nothing unless both of them go chick, right? And this is exactly how you'll be helping yourself and others. It's this connection where you're getting touch with your higher purpose, helping others, bringing out that wisdom in you, taking from your own strength and confidence so that you can nurture others, and it's going to flow through you, giving you that energy, pile number 2, so that you take yourself out of these tough situations that you are facing at the moment. It'll show you what courage looks like and feels like, so that you can pass it on to others. And I see you here, you doing it beautifully. With the whistle here, I see that people will love listening to you. You will get in touch with the strings of their hearts. Your words will sound like music to their ears, because it's wise, It's full of hope. It makes sense. It has this great solution to their problem. Simple yet perfect. It has all aspects put into consideration, and that's where your inner wisdom is tapped. Pile number 2. So never forget your high priest. You're an adept, an expert in magic, as you can see. And by magic here, we really mean inner wisdom. And with the high priest, the masculine side coming out, especially in your shadow reading, this is really showing that you need to take it out of the shadow. You need to, masculine is all about being confident, taking it out. Just like the Knight of Swords, taking action, moving forward with confidence. And this is exactly what you need to do to help heal yourself and tap into your higher purpose of guiding others with your inherent wisdom. Pile number 2. Gosh, I love your pile number 2. All the best of luck with integrating your shadow and bringing your magic out into the world. And that was your reading, pile number 2. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen one of my very dear cards, and that is holy water with purification here. So water has been venerated for thousands of years as the giver and nourisher of life. Water can store frequencies beyond our understanding, so it holds holy or sacred energies. It nourishes our spiritual and our physical bodies. And so what I see here, your shadow side telling you, pile number 3, is that there's some purification that needs to happen in your physical body and your spiritual body as well. But you cleansing your your physical body by changing habits will cleanse out your spiritual body, and from there you will reclaim your power. So it's a time for a cleanse consideration. I will pull out your tarot cards and see what this is all about, why it's not happening. But there is this need to trust in yourself to change and let things flow. Trust that you can change and let things flow is what I'm trying to say. So if this is about eating healthier, perhaps there is this warning that some habits are disrupting your energy frequency, your physical frequency, and it's that shadow that we will find out more about that is blocking everything a little bit for you, pile number 3. We'll find out more about your shadow in a second, what that is, what you need to release with the water coming up here. But what I can tell you is a message from your shadow self that a cleanse needs to happen physically and spiritually. Pile number 3. So let's take a closer look here at what it is. But again, like what I told you, with the holy water here, I see, to go with the flow, that you can definitely work on that and cleanse it out. So why is pile number 3 getting that message, please? What's going on? What's that shadow self of them? Oh, these are several cards that are creating this blockage or this issue. And what other messages does pile number 3's shadow self want to tell them, please? Thank you. So it looks like you will really blossom. Things will come out into the light. You will be healing that. Pile number 3, especially like we said, water holds and stores frequencies beyond our understanding. So it looks like in this phase of your life, if you start taking action towards better physical health, better spiritual health, it will reap a lot of great results for you. So you will be blessed in that area where you are able to cleanse it out and heal quickly. Pile number 3. So this is really cool. You have here, whoa, blossoming. So it looks like with courage, the strength card here, it talks about health rising and blossoming from what seemed to maybe where you may perhaps have thought was hard to shift, but it's going to shift out of nowhere for you. Pile number 3. You just have to put in a little bit of effort, water that side of you, by making the right choices. Unbelievable. You have the 9 of Pentacles here with ripeness. So again, it's picking healthier options for what you love. So this is here not talking about not enjoying yourself. In fact, the 9 of Pentacles is a wish come true, things becoming brighter and more beautiful. It's about picking the right food that gives you perhaps the right pleasure. It's being more mindful in general. This is really what I'm seeing here, as you can see. Whoa, you have the 10 of Pentacles with the World. You see chakras here. You see, oh my God. Like we said, you make the right choices. You cleanse out yourself spiritually as well with all the rainbows here. You will be cleansing out your chakras by making better choices in terms of what you pick and how you respect your holy body. Pile number 2. And we're not talking about diet here. We're not talking about body shape or form. I'm not talking about all these things. I'm talking about only delivering the message of taking better choices little by little. Choices that you love, but choosing the healthier option because there seems to be a need of cleansing physical health in order to cleanse the spiritual. Again, I'm waiting for the shadow message of the root cause. And in order to do that, we need to bring out all your cards. I get carried away being surprised by the cards. Let me pull out all your cards together so we have a more coherent reading. We've already seen the advice from your shadow self, but I kindly want to know, what is the shadow in this area? What's the shadow here, please? I already see what the shadow wants to say, but I want to find out exactly what this shadow is for you. So you have the 7 of Wands. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much. You have the 7 of Wands with stress here. You have the 6 of Wands with success, succeeding with flying colors. And you have the Hermit with aloneness here. And you have the Knight of Swords with fighting. Okay, so you have fighting right under courage here. So what I see here is your shadow side is that when you undergo pile number 3, some stressful situations, when you're juggling too many things in life together, when you have so much to do, you tend to lose track of your health because you need to take care of so many things at the same time. So now I can see that you are someone who would love to take the healthier choices, but it's just that you're so busy and so stressed to be thinking of that side. Pile number 3. But I see with the Hermit card popping up in your reading is that, you can't see it here. I'm just going to put it here for you to see. Yeah, that's better. Popping up in your card is that there needs to be a pause in your life, a little pause. Not a pause from your responsibilities, pile number 3. But your shadow self is screaming to you, saying you need to integrate you being a responsible person, you being someone who is juggling many things at the same time. It seems like again, I'm going to repeat it, you are a responsible person. You have so much to do and say, and perhaps a lot of people to take care of. But your shadow self is urging you to make a little pause that will have a huge effect in your life. Give a little bit out of your day, just a little bit every day. You don't need to start right away and change your life completely right away. But you see how a fruit is falling from the tree. And you can make these changes little by little, pile number 3. Creating habits here, and heeding this call from your shadow self, where you'd say, okay, from now on, at least I'm going to stop, I don't know, smoking, if you're smoking perhaps. Or from now on, I will at least stop the sugar. Or from now on, I will at least stop this or that or the other. Making small changes like that will show you little by little that from this tough, stressful world, as you can see here with the courage card, you will be able to make it out with success without dropping any of your responsibilities. But it seems like it's very important that you do this now, because energetically with the chakras here, it seems like it's affecting you. And sooner or later, this is why your shadow self wants to tell you, if you're capable of handling all this now, sooner or later, energetically, you will be burned out, and physically. And this is why a cleanse needs to happen, a change in lifestyle, where you need to take a pause, not from your responsibilities like we discussed, but a pause from the world, where you give a little bit out of your day to think, what can I do in this coming period to cleanse things out? To what kind of little decisions can I make to change and heed this call from my shadow self? And as you do this, you will get into the loop of changing things little by little. And that's why it's going to become possible, because little changes every day create big changes later on. And it gets you, like we said, into the loop. And you can, if you'll start feeling like, hey, I've done this and this, now I can incorporate this and incorporate that, because you've done the planning little by little, and you've seen how to integrate it, how to fix it little by little. And before you know it, you'll be in the loop, cleansing out your body, taking care of yourself, and taking care of your spiritual body as well. Pile number 3. What an interesting message from your shadow. And it seems like your shadow here knows that when you have some things on your mind that you need to accomplish or finish, you tend to forget other important things that are your foundation. Pile number 3. You're standing on it, just like your physical body, and it's about real health here. And if you don't understand that it's your foundation, as this 7 of Wands shows, yes, it's carrying you now, but in the future it will pop, and you won't be able to carry all these responsibilities that you want. So the good news, though, that I see is that this changing process is not going to take time. I see you integrating and cleansing little by little. I see high frequencies happening for you. I see by making small changes and integrating things little by little, you will be very successful into integrating this important foundational part of your life into your own busy life. But this time you won't be doing it with so much stress, because you will realize that with a strong foundation, you're stronger. You're not so tired and stressed all the time. You have something that carries you, a holy body that carries you because you've respected it. Pile number 3. And this is really just what I'm seeing here from your shadow self. And it does seem to me, pile number 3, with the Hermit here, that you are a wise person. In fact, I can almost hear you saying, but I want to. I really can hear it in my ears. It's like it's something you really want to do. It's not like you're against any of what your shadow self is trying to say. I totally hear you. But I also see what your shadow self is saying. It's saying to integrate it little by little. Make one change at a time, little by little. And you will be able to integrate it effortlessly into your life without many disturbances to what is important to you, pile number 3. What a sweet shadow self. Yeah, it's such an important message from our shadow. I've never seen this part of a shadow in a reading before, but what a brilliant shadow self. Thank you, pile number 3's shadow self. I love this message for you. So pile number 3, all the best of luck in your healing journey. May you be nourished and flourished and full of energy for the rest of your life. And pile number 3, that was your reading. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.